here?
Oh, I will live.
No, I was speaking in.
So she I'm not quite sure how she's gonna do it today, because she likes to keep me guessing. But that's okay, because every time she speaks, I go away with 5 pages of notes. So how many of you bought your pen and paper today? Alright.
I brought you
notes.
handouts.
Like I said, she comes prepared. So, but while that's going on, and we have a tradition here at the GNA.
I'm leaving.
And
shall we pass around your handouts?
I'm sorry that my back will be beat to you, but please forgive me. Serene, she's so kind and gentle. So, and Kenney is with Bullseye Marketing. We met her 6 to 7 months ago in Fossil City, and ever since then, we've been growing our relationship to the next level. She is a great lady, a great speaker, and every time she speaks, people just want to listen. So, any introduction that I do for her does her no justice, so I'm going to be short, sweet, and to the point. Who's ready to hear the feature presentation?
Yes.
Can I hear you? Let me hear you. On that note, please welcome the wonderful, the great, and Kenney!
Bullseye Marketing! So where are we going to face?
Oh, there. Eric, I'm pretty sure you have people over at the Veterans Cemetery heard you.
I would hope so.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Ann Kenney, and my company is Bullseye Marketing. So I have this presentation I'm going to talk to you about target marketing, which when you hear the words target marketing, most people want to go to sleep because it's got to be 2 of the most boring words in the language. But target marketing is so much more than just those 2 words in the sense of how much it moves and changes your business. So my company is named Bullseye Marketing for a reason. Can you tell me what a bullseye is? Does anybody know what a bullseye is?
Dead center.
Yeah.
Dead center.
It's the thing on Elias' head.
When you go
So dead center in the middle of a target is the bullseye, right? And most people, when they hit it, go bullseye because they're so excited about it. Of course, somebody said bullseye one time to me, and I thought, what a dog. So, target marketing is composed of 2 things. It is composed of demographics, which are facts. They're like your age, where you live, where your business is located, type of business. They're just facts. Psychographics is behavioral. Psychographics is about what does somebody do? Because I can tell you that my neighbor and I are both single professionals in their 40s, and we live in the same neighborhood, and we live next door to each other, and we both have 2-bedroom, 1-bath houses, and I can tell you, we have totally different lives. Our interests are different. You know, we have these very different lives. He has 2 kids from a previous marriage. He has a dog who barks all day and drives me nuts. I don't have that dog. He has that dog. That dog is getting zapped tomorrow. So, just because you have these pieces of information does not mean that the behavior is the same. And that's really important when you're thinking about your target market. A lot of people think, oh, everybody's my target. I've heard that from businesses of all sizes. Oh, everybody's my customer. Not even Coca-Cola, Nike, or the largest corporations in the world will tell you that they don't have a target market and that everybody is their customer. Coke actually probably has one of the largest demographics because not only they are domestic, but they're worldwide. However, think Coke is the genius marketing machine of the United States because I paid $6 to go visit the world of Coca-Cola. I paid them to market to me. That's just genius. But inside Coca-Cola, they have this great tasting room that's so fascinating because it's all these regional beverages. They're tuned to the like Fanta is really big in South America. And then there's this like strange bitter lemon drink that's unique to Germany. So Coca-Cola, even though that they have sort of a broad range of products that they do, the Coke bottle shape is actually one of the most recognized shapes and symbols in the world. So even though that they have their sort of base of drinks, they have these other drinks that we will never see in the United States. They are strictly meant for external, international production. Mackie, are you from the Philippines?
I am from the Philippines.
Do they are there some unique drinks like in the Philippines? I mean, are there some kind of...
Other than Coca-Cola?
Coca-Cola, but I mean, yeah, other than Coca-Cola, do they have any?
Other? Of course, yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Sal knows.
Oh, RC Cola. Oh my God, that's like a...
RC
That's so
Cola.
well?
we used to drink RC Cola
RC
here.
Cola.
But, so, the target market is meant for you to decide who you want to go after and then their behavior. And the reason their behavior is so important is because it helps you decide who you're what kind of magazine that they might read, or where they might, what website they visit. Those are the types of things that help you. When you know your target market, you can be directing your advertising. I mean, Angie, for you, it makes no sense for you to be, for instance, advertising people in like New York, for instance, right? You have to advertise to people who are here. In fact, most of us actually have that obligation, and that is one of the things that I specialize in, is I help people market to people who are close by to them, because most of us have to market regionally. We can't easily sell our products outside of the immediate region that we live in. Most of us, not all of us, but most of us. So let me tell you how it affects your business. When you know who your target market is, you save money. Has anybody ever bought advertising because somebody called you and you said afterwards, what the hell was I thinking? Has anybody ever done that? I have clients who buy marketing, they buy an ad in a newspaper, or they buy an ad on a website, or my client spent, I'm going to say somewhere in the neighborhood of $50,000 last year on TV advertising. I came to the party late, so I couldn't affect, the contract was, they lock you in. That was a lot of money to spend, a lot of money for almost negligible results. So, and the problem I saw was too, I don't know if the people that he was advertising to were necessarily going to be attracted by a TV ad, and also the range of a lot of TV, even in Comcast or Astound has really tiny areas, it still is probably broader than just the small area that he can attract business to. So you save money, because then you stop buying bad ads. I don't say that you're never going to buy a bad ad again, because that's not true. You have to experiment a little bit. You'll never be able to completely absolve yourself, but you will be able to, in the future, make better choices. And I'm really mean to media salespeople. I mean, not mean, I just ask them a lot of questions. And a lot of them scramble because they don't have the answers. And the reason they don't have the answers is because they're really not they don't have enough information. New companies, be suspicious, ask lots of questions. Who are they getting as their, for a lot of websites, a lot of online media, ask them how many people are coming to your website, and Do you know where they're coming from? You ask them a lot of questions. A lot of them will just roll up their carpet and walk out of your office, because that's happened to me before. You improve your one-on-ones when you know your target market, because now everybody is hunting for you. If I can tell you specifically who I'm looking for, it makes it easier for you to go hunt for me, and we expand the amount of people that are hunting for us for our prospective customers. And it makes your marketing relevant, because if you are writing marketing that is not directed to the right, not everybody wants to read your marketing. And everybody now has information coming at them with like a fire hose. And if you're not talking to them about what's relevant to them, they're going to tune out. They don't care. And it's also a big expectation to expect everybody to care. Everybody doesn't care. Not everybody who is going to want Afflex, in their supplemental insurance, not everybody's going to want it. Not everybody can afford it. And does anybody here work for PG, or anybody here for PG&E? Do you sell groceries? Do you work for Cal Water? Because if you don't work for those companies, everything here is extra. We're gravy. Everything that all of us sell, people call it disposable income, but if you've ever had $1, you don't feel it's disposable at all. Because I didn't put mine in the garbage disposal. Come on in. So we're in the disposable. We're not at. We're what I call disposable income, but it's more what I call flexible income. Everything every one of us here sells is gravy, and we're competing with a lot of gravy. If you're not selling food, shelter, energy, then you're gravy. So you have to compete with people's priorities, and you have to compete with their income, and you have to compete with their interest. You have to compete with everybody else in this room, and you know what who is a big competitor oftentimes? Nothing. Nothing is your big competitor. Doing nothing is a big competitor. Staying the way you are is a big competitor. A lot of people don't like to move out of their comfort zone. So that's how come your marketing becomes relevant, is because now you know exactly who you're going after. Did anybody come here and not know where they were going? Did you get in the car this morning and say, I don't know where the hell I'm going to go today? That's what target marketing is like. Okay, once in a while you're like, I'm so ticked off, I'm going to get in the car, I'm just going to drive. But while you're driving, eventually you form a plan, like I'm going to go to the coast, and I'm going to go. You form a plan. Because otherwise, the freeways around here are hell to begin with. So the 3 questions you need to know to make sure that you have target market is, who do you have as a client now? Who do you have as a client now, and you want more of them? Who do you have a client that you want more of is the first one. Who do you have as a client that you want less of? That's the second part. And the third question is, who do you not have as a client that you want? Those 3 questions you can ask, because it makes it easier. Like, if you don't have to, starting with a blank piece of paper to figure out your target marketing it's terrible. Because most of us stare at a blank piece of paper and then go do something else, go on Facebook or anything else, not to have to stare at a blank piece of paper. If you ask yourself these 3 things and look at who you like, look at who you really like and want more of. Look at who you want to have less of. And then who do you have as a customer that you hadn't thought of, or somebody else you think, oh, that might be a good person. Those are all ways for you to help develop your client profile. So there's a couple points here. How to dig deeper into your target profiles. Put yourself in your client's shoes. That's a good one. We get kind of enamored with our own stuff. enamored of our own, my product's great, and we have to be a cheerleader. But put yourself in your client's shoes. Your client, your client is, I have a client who, there's a lot of things going on, marriage, he's newly married, a couple years old, he's got grown children from 2 different marriages, he's got a lot of other projects going on, or, I have a client who I can never get a hold of because he's so busy in his new business. Those are the things you have to think about. Who is it? I'm not going to read everything through here. Why do they do business with a competitor? Why did somebody pick you? Why did they pick somebody else over you? That's a really good thing to ask yourself, because then maybe you can fix your marketing to be more like your competitor, or to take a swipe at your competitor. A lot of times I work in, I have several self-storage clients because I work in a lot of real estate related industries. And everybody's heard of public storage. Are you familiar with public storage? Mm-hmm. Public storage is the largest, they're the largest self-storage operator in the country. And they charge less than us sometimes. But it's very easy for me to take swipes at them. Because, I happen to know that their delinquency rate is like 8 or 9%, ours is like 4 or 5%. And there's a reason for that, because the kind of clients that they attract and the kind of facilities they run. I know enough about my competition that I can position without saying they suck. Because you kind of, sound bitter when you say they're terrible and they do this. I position it a different way, like, here's some questions to ask.
That's right.
Them. So when you are thinking about why a client might do business with somebody else, then ask yourself, what's the competition doing? Can I either kind of do what they're doing, or can I do something different? Anybody this summer, it was hilarious. The polar bears left the Arctic this summer on a Pepsi boat. Did anybody see that? Or Santa was down in the Bahamas in a shirt and he was partying with Pepsi. They took a direct swipe. It was pretty hilarious all summer long to watch what they were doing.
Eric.
Cheaper free researchers asking clients why they bought from you. Why you? What made you? And you know what? You'll be surprised. What you thought that they bought from you, the reason they bought from you, will not be the reason they bought from you. What you thought was working or resonated with them will not be what they tell you. Will probably surprise you. They will tell you reasons that they bought from you, or reasons why they picked your product, or what was they were thinking. They will tell you. If you ask them, they will tell you, and they will surprise you. And guess what? When they tell you that, take it to heart and use it in your marketing. Because if there's one like that, there's more like that. There's more, there's more in that school of fish over here that you've been trying to catch. My last point is about chip away at broad statements like homeowners. What kind of homeowners? Somebody who's a young married couple has completely different interests. Like if you're selling furniture, you probably want to go for somebody who is a younger, less established family because they don't have as much stuff. Me, I cannot fit one more piece of furniture in my house to save my life. In fact, I'm trying to get it out. There's a reason that 25 to 49 demographic is so big, is because people over 49 are more established. They have they have things in their home. They have an established household usually. But then there's the whole leisure side of it. So there's other things that can appeal to an over 49 demographic, and it's certainly in this day and age when people are living to the ages of 85 and 90 easily, there's a long way to go. I will not be dead at 49, okay? I got a long way to go. There's a lot to appeal to me. So when you're talking about a homeowner, you're talking about a business owner. Well, what kind of business owner? Do they have a restaurant? Do they have a mobile business? Angie, do you teach primarily women, or do you teach?
I've got a broad, both genders and all ages.
But they want to play golf.
Yes.
I don't want to play golf, sorry.
Yeah.
I find it annoying
Then I
enough.
can get a tea time.
I find it annoying enough to play, but I might learn to do it. But you are looking for maybe like a dad who plays golf, and maybe he wants to teach his kids, or his wife wants to learn because she doesn't want to be abandoned on Saturdays. On the other hand, the husband's thinking, teach her tennis because I don't want her with me on the golf greens every Saturday morning, which is pretty much what I think my brother-in-law did.
You can't relate to that.
I can relate to it because he bolts out of the house. So the last page here is what I got approached to think about a Chinese language school, and I imagined, who would it appeal to? And, usually a Chinese language school would appeal to somebody who they probably speak Chinese themselves, but their kids, like most things as parents, kids are like, yeah, mom, whatever. And they want their child to have more of an exposure to more than just speaking it, because they're maybe writing. When you can teach a child to speak it, because you can just speak it to them, and usually small children are very easily trained. But when they have to write it or understand it better, then you want them to go to immersion school. So there are 3 profiles of parents. One was where both parents were of Chinese descent. One was where one parent was of Chinese descent, and whether they were American born or not didn't matter. And the last would be people who had an affinity for the Chinese or Asian culture, and developed some questions, for each of those profiles. And this is a very simple thing. You should each have probably at least 2 or 3 different profiles. That's really important. There's not one customer for you. You have to think, oh, there's this woman. And I got to the second profile because my former neighbors, she's Shanghai, she was born in Shanghai. And Chris, I would never know that she was not born in the United States, except for the minute her mother would call, she'd drop into Chinese, and I'd be like, whoa, wait a minute. And her husband was a German, Irish-born American. And all her kids, they wanted them all to speak Chinese. And she was easily how I started to form some of these profiles. And that's how you can form profiles, too. When you're thinking of a target market and you haven't bought the product, think of somebody who has bought the product that you know, and you can think, oh, what is it about them? Okay, so when you get your target market, what do? It helps you buy a marketing list. It helps you create products specifically to appeal to those customers. Write marketing copy, buy the right advertising. When you go to a trade show, you can evaluate whether or not you should go to that trade show by who's coming. Helps you craft a list of magazines, online, offline magazines that people read, so you can potentially advertise to them. It helps you craft headlines. Those are all the things that you can do when you know who your target market is. And some of the resources that I've given you are, and I'm hurrying through this a little bit because I want to answer questions for you, marketing questions, not just about this. Info USA sells lists that you can buy, and they are awesome because you can make it so small that you can target like a street. It lets you draw a map. You can put a whole bunch of characteristics in there, and it's very reasonable. You can pick up like 800 names for a couple $100. Very reasonable. You can put it all in. It'll give you the list back, and it'll tell you how much that list is going to cost you before you even buy it. You don't have to talk to anybody or anything. Manta is a great resource if you're trying to find businesses. Great resource for finding small businesses. You can go and say San Mateo, and I want to find this, and you can kind of look at the list and tell a little bit, is it a home-based business or a small business. You can kind of tell. If you know your area, you kind of know what the streets are, you'll be able to tell a little bit. SBA.gov is great, has great statistics on small business. And and U.S. Chamber, Small Business Nation. U.S. Chamber has great statistics, and Technorati is awesome. If you're looking for blogs to advertise on, Technorati has great listings. They have one major of the most, like 100 most popular blogs in the United States, and then you can subdivide and go find like the most, the busiest entertainment blogs, you know, the top entertainment blogs. Wherever you need to go, they have a great listing on there of blogs. So I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna see if I can answer any questions for people. And you don't have to ask about target marketing. Yeah, go ahead.
How does Bullseye Marketing make their money? Is it consultancy? Is it going into a program or something?
I'll give you $10 later on.
We got that recorded.
And you create oranges. I'll give you oranges later on.
We got that recorded.
I make my money by consulting. I work with people on. Let's see. Last year, what I did was I produced 3 videos. So I wrote the script. I produced 3 videos. I wrote the script and hired the right people. Right now, I'm working on a Yellow Pages ad, and I'm trying to restrain my client from making it even messier than it was last year. So right now, I hire a lot of. I work with the media people a lot. I hire website. I buy the advertising on websites a lot. I do a lot of writing, a lot of copywriting. Sometimes I produce little ads, but it's mostly about talking to people about their strategy. I help them develop plans. I help them develop their target market profiles. I help people, you know, take their idea from idea to concept to executed concept in the hands of the people they want to have it in the hands of. Because it's really easy to make a website, or it's really easy to make a brochure or a business card or whatever, but you got to get it into somebody's hands, and that's what I help them do, is get it in the hands or in front of the eyeballs of the people that they need to have the eyeballs of. And I'm always thinking about who that end customer is, which is why the Yellow Pages ad, when everybody was like, oh, we're signed off, and I went, okay, well, I have a couple things that I need to point out on this ad about why it's not working, and it's, you know, so, I'm a project manager by training, so I help people with scheduling and planning and strategy and writing and ad buying and so forth. Hope that helps.
I have a second question.
Yes.
Engaging the highest probability of closing a deal or doing business, how do you gauge networking like what we're doing right now? In terms of, let's say, on the level of 1 to 10, 1 being the highest.
Well, face-to-face, you know, despite social media, despite the internet, people still have to eventually put themselves in front of another person. I mean, you can have a business that you never see that person, you never meet them in person, but it's it's pretty rare. I mean, a lot of times even a video is enough, because then you get a sense of that person. Networking is what we call a butt in seat. It's a butt in the seat.
Can you do that again, Ann?
And the reason a butt in the seat, and take the time out of my day, because I always say, you know, people say time is money. Time is not money. I can make $1 million, but I only get 24 hours in a day, and so do you. And so does Warren Buffett and Donald Trump. They get 24. They don't get any more time than I do. So my time is more valuable, is the most valuable asset that I have. So a networking event, a live event, a trade show, those are highly valuable events, because somebody took the time out of their day to present themselves here, and that is very extremely valuable. And don't be fooled, face-to-face is still valuable, and that can even be like Skype, because it's still that one-on-one interaction.
Face-to-face is like what we're doing right now, right?
Face-to-face, But this is different though. This is a one-to-many, so it's a marketing event where I'm talking generally about my problems. A sales is one-on-one, and we're talking specifically about your problems.
What level would you put like video email?
Video email?
Yeah, you communicate with somebody through a video email.
I'm probably gonna piss somebody off by saying not valuable because it's intrusive.
Not personal.
I just don't find it. Okay, I mean, it's one thing if I choose to go look at video, but I don't. It's a ton of bandwidth. It's shoving a strawberry through a straw. You're putting a video into somebody's email box. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I mean, it's you on it, like Skype. It's you on there.
Oh, you mean
Wait, I don't get it.
Webinar?
Are you talking
No,
Skype?
it's a video. It's something. It's new. It's really all the rage.
You're talking about Talk Fusion, where you click a link and it takes you to a website, and yeah,
Taking a link and going to a website is different than trying to actually have an attached
That's
video
right.
to
That's
a
a big
web.
difference.
Okay, but this one
Yeah.
here. Okay, what I'm talking about is you send an email to someone, and when you open the email, you're there as like a video talking to them.
Never have a video
And then
that's...
there's a click. Then they can click on it, and then it takes it to the.
Never have anything, a video, and I will ban a website. I will stop using a website if it pops up and starts talking before I've engaged it and I've decided. That's one. Two is you are ignoring how people learn. There are three ways that people learn. It's called kinesthetic, visual, and audio. People learn in three ways. Kinesthetic is touch, is how they touch and interact. Visual is people like to read, like to see, and audio is an audio learner will like to primarily learn through their ears. Most of us are a combination of all three of those. I'm pretty highly visual, and if you've ever seen me in bright pink, you'll know for sure that I'm visual. Hang on one second, I'm going to finish my plate. So when you only do video, you lose the second part of that, which is that, for me, I have like video ADD. Like, get me to the bottom. So if you're gonna send a video and a link, then send something else too that explains what the hell it is that you're talking about. So then at least I have the chance to skim through and even see if it's worth my time. But I will ignore you if you are just sending me, I have blogs that I read, and it's only like 2 lines in a video. I usually won't watch the video. I just don't have the time. I have 100,000 decisions to make every day, and I have got to have something that clues me in that this is what I want. That's what you have to do.
Right.
So, sorry.
Attention span.
It's under 3 seconds. I don't even think 3 seconds. I'm going to go with a second. You have a second to 3 seconds to grab somebody's attention. Am I going on?
Oh no! I was just gonna say we're running low on time, but
Okay,
I have a
I'll
question too when you're ready.
Okay. So yeah, grab them, do something compelling, and guess what? You can't get them one time. You can't. You can't even get them 3 times. You gotta get them, and you have 7 to 10 times to touch them before they may even pay attention, and you know what? They may never pay attention. So don't get offended. Do not get offended. Keep going. 1 to 2 years. Go ahead.
Okay, just one thing to touch up real quick on what Corey and everyone was saying about videos. It's not possible to stream video through an HTML email like an Outlook or your online email browser that you use. It'll take you to a separate link, and I agree with that. It's not that personal to do that. There are better ways. But my thing in target marketing that we've talked about before, that I feel is very important, is that you need to hire the right clients and fire the right clients as well too, because they can waste your time. I'm going to give an example, and I want to get your feedback on this. I've talked about this before. For example, just an example, not trying to pitch my business, I sell auto, home, commercial insurance. On the commercial end, now that the economy is real rough, a lot of contractors without a license are trying to do general contractual work, and they're trying to get a general contractor's general liability policy without a license. And I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to do that. And so that's unethical. Those are the types of clients where you need to say, hey, look, you know, I don't partake in this type of business, you know, and it's not only is it illegal, it's just unethical, and that's worse to me. So, you know, a lot of people fear standing up to clients that are taking advantage of them, trying to get them to do something, and then that person, like let's use Eric for example, will just service them, even though they're probably not going to close the sale, just to not upset them. So, do you get where I'm coming from on that?
Well, and it is really hard to take the kind of client that is breathing and without a checkbook and tell them no. That is really hard to do because most of us like the breathing with a checkbook kind of customers. But a breathing customer with a checkbook is usually not enough criteria to decide if they're a good client for you. And sometimes when somebody comes and they're like, I want to be your client, I want to be your client, you know what? You got to be a little like,
You have to qualify them.
Yeah, because they're, you know, I don't know. I don't want to totally, but sometimes you just got to ask some more questions. Ask some more questions. Because they think that they know what you do, and you want to be clear in your communication that you two are on the same page. So, I'll be happy to take any questions after this. What?
I just want to know how do you charge as far as
How do I charge?
How do you charge for your consultation?
Well, I'll have a meeting with you to begin with, and then I do it either on a project or an hourly basis. It just depends on what that is. But if you want to talk afterwards, we can set up a one-on-one. I'd be happy to talk to you. Mackie?
It's milky.
Milky.
That's what I thought was my gift, but mine's not a question, but it's more like a comment. I remember I heard a marketing guru told me, which is sort of similar to this. He said that you should narrow your focus, and by narrowing your focus, you get to broaden or maximize your returns.
I will tell you.
And I'm really glad that you presented to me it's like a roadmap to how to do that. So
yes,
thank you.
Thank you very much, because I will tell you the marketers that I'm trying to emulate started out being very narrow in their focus. They picked an industry and they went up in that industry like fish up, spawning upstream, and then they expand. Then people start to come in to you. But when you focus and you narrow, then you open up the opportunity. And that's what I said the last time too. When you are focusing and narrowing, you drop away the things that are not working for you, and it allows the things that are important to come to you. I'm not totally woo-woo, but I do believe in energy and what you put out when you get back. Sometimes I worry about my energy, but I'm a little worried about things coming back. But when you focus and you're narrow, then you'll have that energy allow you to open yourself up to what you really, really want to have. So, thank you all very much for coming.